Welcome back to another exclusive edition of More to Live For. I'm your host, the voice of the North. Appreciate everybody that's rocking with me, tuning in to this content, man, from coast to coast, everywhere in between. Shout out to my new subscribers, man. To the ones that ain't subscribed yet, only thing you gotta do is hit that button and make sure you hit that notification bell after you do. But today I got another good guest, man, another big name from out west. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself and then we can get the conversation rolling. What's good with you, homie?
What's going on?
Hanging in there, man. Hanging in there. So, if you could, man, introduce yourself to my viewers who, may not be familiar with, the Western Coast.
Oh yeah, they call me SuperLoc, from Vernon Avenue area, Exposition, Leimert Park area, in the 40s. We call it the 40s. And yeah, man, I'm just a regular dude out here trying to make a mark. I mean, I do a little bit of music, do a little entrepreneurship, got a restaurant, food truck. You know what I'm saying? Of
Right,
course,
right,
everybody got a clothing line, you know what I'm saying?
right,
But
right.
yeah, just trying to make the moves.
Definitely, man. I can definitely respect that. So, for starters, man, were you born and raised in LA?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what it
Yes,
is, man.
sir.
So if you could, man, like, how was it for you growing up in LA, and did you grow up in the same area that you frequent with today?
I did. Yeah, man, I was born and raised on 43rd. Um, born in Centinela Hospital, you know what I'm saying, Inglewood, came straight from the hospital right to the dark side, you know what I mean? And growing up, it was awesome to me, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of fun, you know what I'm saying? But you don't realize that stuff is the way it is or as bad as it is until you older and you look back and you know how stuff is supposed to be. You feel me? But as a kid, I mean, it was good, man. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of violence around. There was a lot of drug dealing around. A lot of same thing that goes on in poverty all around. But it was like when you're a kid, you don't realize, like I said, it's as bad as it is. You feel me?
right, definitely. So I'm asking, so like, like any other, typical kid growing up, in the city, like some of the guys that
Mhm.
you looked up to, were they in the entertainment business or another element of the street life? Because we
I
often
mean, when I was young, man, we was looking up to the dudes on the corner. You feel what I'm
right,
saying? So like, I don't know, it was weird, man. When I was a kid, like I was always drawn to whatever the outlaw was. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm watching TV, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's a biker gang, I think the biker gang is cool before I
right,
think the police is cool. You feel what I'm saying? So like I was always drawn to that whatever that rebellious element was. So we looked at cholos, we looked at what I'm saying, our brothers that was on the corner that was in the street life, and the dude that got the money, and the significant thing about LA is like we looking at the fighters and the killers before we looking at the dudes that's getting big money. You know what I'm saying?
right,
At least that's how it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Things have shifted now to where money is you know what I mean? Money has always been the defining factor, but in LA, we kind of looked up more to this tough guy image first. You feel what I'm saying?
right.
And then it was about, get the money. Cause it's like you can't come outside and get the money if you ain't established your dominance, you know what I'm saying, or your manhood, you feel what I'm saying? So it's like, but then we got a twisted idea of what manhood is. You feel me? Like
For
the it ain't all about being a tough guy to be a man, you know what I'm saying? It's a part of it, you know what I'm saying? But that's not everything. So when we was young, that was everything though. The tough guy. You feel me?
Definitely, man. I definitely can respect that. So so how old were you when you think you first started to be influenced by street politics, especially you know being in your
Right out
section?
the gate. Right out the gate, man, as a little kid. Like like I said, it's kind of a it's kind of a like the environment in LA is just it's so influential, bro. Like you once you grown, you can't remember not thinking like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's the minute you hit the minute you come outside, the minute you hit school, you know what I'm saying, you already presented with these quote unquote grown up situations. You know what I'm saying? Like like I said, I'm born on 43rd, right? But my mom had me when she was 17. She got her first apartment when she was like 24. You feel me? I
Right.
was like 6. You feel what I'm saying? So when we moved out, we moved from 43rd to 79th in Normandy. You feel me? Now I've never been off my block. I'm only 6 years old, but I've never been off my block. I'm the prince of the block. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know me, love me, know my whole family, my moms, grandmoms, pops, all the shit. You feel me? So when we move over there, when I go outside, the very first thing that I was asked was, "Where you from?" I
Right.
never, yeah, I never been presented with that question before because I never been off my block like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was like, "Where I'm from? Shit, I'm from LA, bro." Like, you know what I'm saying? He like,
Right.
"Nah, where you from? Like, where you just moved over here?" I'm like, "Yeah." He like, "Where you moved from?" I was like, "Oh, I lived on 43rd." And the little nigga was like, "Oh, you from 43rd? I'm from 83rd." Now I didn't say I was from 43rd. I said I moved over here from off of
Right.
43rd Street. You feel what I'm saying? He was
Right.
like, "Yeah, 43rd. I'm from 83rd," because we had moved over in the A trades. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, I was presented with more questions. You know, saying, "You down, nigga? You down to go on a mission?" I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, what is this nigga talking about?" You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So it was like from a little kid, you automatically presented with these situations and the decisions that you got to make that could decide your fate, no matter how young you are. You feel me?
Damn. I mean, so like, I gotta ask, man. So like, so getting pressed at a young age like that, man, did that kind of, you know what I mean, shape your immediate future?
It can, it can. You know what I'm saying? Because for one, that's a constant thing when you go outside. You know what I'm saying? You can't really go outside if you're not willing to fight, bro. Like, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like it's weird that because of movies, LA got this big shootout drive-by reputation. Man, it's a lot of LA is full of street fighters, bro. Like niggas gonna fight. Now, mind you, the fighting always lead to the gunplay. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But the fighting is constantly taking place. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas really, really fist fight in LA. You know what I'm saying? So it's like as a kid, when you come outside, they automatically creating more situations where you got to fight, you know what I'm saying, to even hang out, to even be outside, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, they just gonna bully you every time, the classic ghetto stuff. They gonna bully you every time you come outside. You feel me? So yeah, that carries on into teenagehood and adulthood, and you know what I mean?
I can dig
To
it.
where you went from fighting on the playground to now you in the county jail fighting, or you in juvenile hall fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I can dig it,
So
man.
yeah.
I can dig it. So something that I often ask, you know what I mean, all my West Coast guests, especially the ones with similar backgrounds like yourself, what's your opinion on, people way out in North Carolina and, other places that's, real far from LA, but somehow, they involve, in LA gangs.
Shit, man. I know the history of how it got there to all of
Right.
these different places, you know what I'm saying? So it's all with me, you know what I'm saying? It's all about understanding. You know what I'm saying? If I understand how it got there and how they, you know what I mean? Because some people got it came through the drug trade. Some
Right.
people it came through, you know what I'm saying, brothers getting in trouble in LA and going back to where their family came from.
Right.
And a lot of for some reason our culture, our lifestyle just seems appealing to a lot of different people because I always say this. I feel like it's because this shit is just about basic manhood, bro. Whether
Yeah.
you a buster or not. You know what I'm saying? That's what LA gang politics is really about, you know what I'm saying, whether you a buster or not. Now it gets more complex as, you know what I'm saying, you get down to the layers of this shit, but
Right.
it basically comes down to whether you a buster or not. And then other people can relate to that when you go to other communities, especially if when it's in other ghetto communities. You know what I'm saying? Like they can
Definitely.
relate to that. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of appealing. You know what I'm saying? In that note, but then at the same time, you got the commercial aspect of rappers. You know what I'm saying? And now I ain't talking about even today, just like back in the day. You know what I'm saying? You have rappers that gave off that profited off the image or portrayed the image. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you got the movies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So you got all these different angles on where they saw it and they was like, yeah, that's some tough guy shit, like I was saying before. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And when you go to any community, it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, the warrior class, the tough guys, you know what I'm saying? And if they don't have nothing there to identify with and say, you know, this is us, this is the tough guys, these are the tough guys, you feel me? Then when something comes, they'll jump on it. You know what I mean?
Hey,
So it's
I
kind
like.
of you know what I'm saying? It's kind of a weird structure that's able to be applied anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
I can dig
And
it,
that's
man.
why it's so adaptive and it's everywhere now, all around the world.
Definitely. I do. Like you said, man, I do think that, just the whole, not only LA, but like the whole California lifestyle in general, man, like is one of the most duplicated things on earth. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's like a lot of people, drawn to that
Oh yeah.
lifestyle. So I can, hearing you explain it like that, I definitely can understand, why it's kind of everywhere now and not just here.
Mm-hmm.
So I did hear you mention the fact that you involved with the music and the whole entertainment scene. So like
Mm-hmm.
coming up, man, growing up the way that you grow up, what are some of like the artists that you listen to that you were kind of influenced by?
Man, I was kind of different from my peers, man. Like being that I'm from LA and I'm from the West, like that was just like normal shit to me. You feel what I'm saying? So I was more attracted to like the East Coast shit, you know what I'm saying? Something that was different, that was opposite, I felt, of what we was doing out here. So like I was on like KRS-One, you know what I'm saying? I was on, you know what I'm saying, Rakim, you know what I mean? And then, fast forward after that, because that's when I'm young, you know what I'm saying? Elementary, like, you know what I'm saying? But then, later on, you got Nas, you got Jay, you got Big, you got, you know what I'm saying? So not saying that I wasn't listening to West Coast shit, but I'm listening to that also, and it's blending for me in my head, you know what I'm saying? So all of that shit influenced me. You know what I'm saying?
I
I didn't
can dig.
have like just a specific like thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to the South. I'm listening to the Bay. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
listening to whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it all kind of influenced me, but really that if you speaking some knowledge, I was attracted to that. It didn't matter where you was from. You know what I'm saying?
I heard that. I can dig that, man, for sure, man.
It just so happens back then most of the knowledgeable shit was coming out of New York. You know what I'm saying?
Understandable,
You feel me?
understandable. I dig it. So what was it, man? What was there a significant moment in time, man, that like made you want to like take the music serious and what I mean, put this before everything else that you had going on?
Well, I could say when I fell in love with it was, like I said, when they started to spit knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So when hip hop started to go through the Afrocentric phase in the
Right,
late '80s. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying. I'm kind of up there. I got some age on me. You know what I mean? So you know what I'm saying. When it started to hit that phase, you know what I'm saying. When they started talking about back to Africa, start teaching us about Africa and blackness and all that. Like I would hear that shit in the song, and when I get to school, I'm looking all that shit up. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So like to my teachers, it looked like I'm not following the curriculum and not, not doing what they want me to do. But I just was subbing they curriculum for the curriculum that I was making that was coming out of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because they was teaching this shit, and I wanted to know what that shit was, what that shit meant. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been reading Greek philosophy and Socrates, Aristotle, all that shit since I was in the fourth grade, bro. Like, but hip hop did that. You know what I'm saying? When they saying shit like that, I'm like, who is that? What's that? I'm going to school. I'm looking it up. You know what I'm saying?
For
So
sure.
that's when I could say I fell in love with hip hop. You feel me? But when I started feeling like I could do it, was like I'm gonna say about 14, 15. You know what I'm saying? Because before that, I was too shy to try to step to the mic. I didn't think I was the MC type nigga. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be the DJ. You feel me? But when I
Right.
hit about when I hit about 14, you know what I'm saying? That's when like I'm gonna say like the whole native tongue thing started taking off.
Right.
NWA was coming back with the niggas for life shit. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to a lot of Cube, you know what I'm saying? MC8, Conscious Most Wanted, all that shit, Too Short, and all that's when I started to feel like, yeah, man, I could write these rhymes because me and my boys listening to that East Coast rap, we was getting into the knowledge and shit. You know what I'm saying? We was like, reading thesauruses and shit and just trying to record as many words and shit as we could in our heads, reading a lot of historic shit so we could be able to talk about, pro-black shit and all that. And then being from LA, you know what I'm saying? It's a rebellious city. We want to mix that with the G shit, with the street shit, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know what I mean? So that's when I started to feel like, yeah, I could be a rapper. And then I'm gonna say about like 15, 16, that's when I started freestyling. You know what I mean? Just coming off the head type shit. And then I wrote my first rap like when I was like 18 when I first actually wrote some shit. You know what I'm saying? Up in that to that point now, I was just up and down the block freestyling, you know what I'm saying? I'll be down there with the older homies while they, what I'm saying, we out there grinding and shit. They'd be, spit one. You know what I'm saying? Just my little nigga, you rap type shit. You feel me? So yeah, you know what I
That's
mean?
just, man, definitely, man. So like any big names or notable names you've been able to work with during this journey?
I mean, shit. I can't say big names that I've been able to work with, you know what I'm saying? But people um on the local level, regional rappers, yeah, I didn't fuck with, you know what I'm saying, my boy K Boy for sure. You know what I mean? I didn't fuck with T Fly, you know what I'm saying? I didn't fuck with a few more. Jo is one of the homies and all that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never worked with him. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't rubbed elbows with a few cats. You know what I mean?
Right, right. I can dig it. I can dig it, man. Um, the main thing, man, that I want your opinion on, man, the fact that you, like you said, you do got some age on you. You know what I mean? You're a few years older than me, so you definitely were there for that whole experience, man. So like, how was the vibe and the whole tension of LA during those death row days?
Man, it was. It depends on where you was at in society. You know what I'm saying? So if you like in Compton, that shit was really hitting the street, you know what I'm saying? Because it was a lot of Compton niggas involved on both sides, you know what I'm saying, of the color spectrum, you feel me? And
Right,
then like for the fans, it was more like just opinionated, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like how this Kendrick Drake shit is, you know what I'm saying? A lot of opinions and all that.
right,
But
right.
it wasn't no internet or nothing back then, you know what I'm saying? So we didn't really know what was going on until somebody dropped some music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can dig it.
So, and then like if you was like a nigga that was having money and you was traveling, you know what I'm saying, somebody from LA that fucked around in New York and all that, like you could see it, but if you was just in your city, you didn't know. But I knew one thing though, bro. I know when I first heard Big on the radio, when going back to Cali and all that came out, when he was promoting for his album,
Right,
and I realized that he was at the radio station in Los Angeles. He played that going back to Cali, and he spit that long kiss goodnight verse that sounded like a distant Tupac, but You know what I'm saying? Turns out he really wasn't directing that at Tupac. He had other beefs in New York and all that shit. You feel what I'm saying? You know, they was on their King of New York shit. But when I heard that, I was like, I knew in my heart, bro wasn't finna leave the city alive.
Right.
Like in my mind, I was like, these niggas really don't understand Los Angeles, or he would not be here. Like that's for sure, for sure. Like this is LA is a territorial place above all. You know what I'm saying? So just the fact that he was there, I was like, oh man, quit playing, bro. Like
Right.
I knew it when I heard his voice. I was like, he's not gonna make it out the city, bro.
Damn.
The city is like that. Always been like that. It don't matter where you at. You could be Beverly Hills, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like the street niggas go everywhere in LA.
Exactly. Exactly, man. So one thing that I do make sure I ask every guest that's you know what I mean from LA that's involved not only with the politics but involved on the music side of things too.
Mhm.
You have any type of friendship or interactions with the late Nipsey Hussle?
I mean, I met Nip before back when they had Sloss and Tees right there, you know what I'm saying? They used to have a little, you know what I'm saying? They used to have a little tree out there. I just slid through there and got some tree and all that, but I can't say that I like knew him like that. Like, oh yeah, that was my boy. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
But I remember meeting him though.
All right, cool. That's what's up, man. I definitely had to make sure I asked that, man. I definitely had
Yeah,
to.
man. But shit, man, Nip was something special, bro. Like Nip was something special, my nigga. That's like one of my that's part of my mission to show that, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot more Nipsey Hustles in Los Angeles than they think, bro. You
Right,
feel me? A lot more Nipsey Hustles in Los Angeles, bro. And they just, you know, we get overlooked because of, you know, the gang affiliation and all that.
right.
Yeah, man. Nip
I
was
can.
special.
Yeah, he definitely was, man. He definitely was. No, I appreciate you for doing this for me, man. You know, what I mean, I've been able to work with not only a few people from LA, but a few people from your particular section as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I
And shout out
definitely,
to all my niggas, man. You know
yeah,
what
I
I'm
got to
saying?
shout out Trip Jesus, Sporty Face, Baby Runner. Um, who else I have from and my
Yeah,
homeboy,
man.
my
Shout out,
NC.
man, to my glove ones, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to my glove ones.
definitely, man, definitely. So I'm gonna get ready to wrap things up, man. I think it's been a super dope project, man. Before
For
we do
sure.
wrap things up, man, I want you to plug in all your links where people can find your music and your content at.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, you can follow my food truck at Doggy Dog 775. You can follow me on any social media at the Real SuperLoc. And yeah, check me out on YouTube. Check out, you know what I'm saying? Check me out on any streaming service, you know what I'm saying? My last album I dropped like a few years ago. I've been on my restaurant tip, you know what I'm saying? Trying to be a little junior chef out here. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't dropped an album in like a couple years, but my last album was 5 Days in California. I dropped a bunch of singles, you know what I'm saying? I got videos out there. Y'all, you know, check me out. Super
Definitely,
local on all things.
definitely do that. Definitely check them out, man. I definitely appreciate you for working with me. You know what I mean? One thing I tell people that I work with that's in LA, and like I said, the whole state of California in general, man, like the whole mission, the whole goal is to have one more person out there that's heard of this channel. And the
Mm-hmm.
way I look at it, one more person out in North Carolina heard of you and everything that you got going on. So it's always a
For
win
sure.
when the East and the West come together, man. Definitely. So
For sure, shit, man. I want to, you know, say shout out to all my niggas out there, North Carolina, Memphis, New York, Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, everywhere else, man. If I know you or if I don't know you, you know what I mean? We all got the same mission, you know what I'm saying? When I talk to niggas, I always give them knowledge, you know what I'm saying? I ain't finna try to tell a nigga to go crash out or none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you to go cash out, you know what I'm saying, to get you some real power. So, you know what I'm saying? I want to say shout out to everybody out there, man, who know and fuck with your boy. Glove.
definitely, definitely, man, for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up. It's been another exclusive edition of More to Live For. I'm the voice of the North. That's all in Northern Pitt County, North Greenville, man. That's what I stand for. Shout out to the homie, man, for rocking this good joint with me, man. And stay tuned for more great content, more good videos, man. If you're new to the channel, like I said, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you catch this good content as soon as it drops. But until the next time, man, I'm the voice of the North. More to live for. Why settle for less? My last name, Moore. We out.
Peace out.